right back there. There are 5 phases that one must go through in order to benefit from change. Benefit from shift that takes place in any market. First phase. Repeat this after me, please. Accept it.
Accept it.
Gotta accept it. Gotta accept the fact that things change. Gotta accept the fact that there's one constant in life, and that is change. Shift. There's nothing we can do. We have entered into the era that one of the great business philosophers and great thinkers of our time, by the name of Peter Drucker, he says we've entered into the era of the 3 C's. Accelerated change, overwhelming complexity, yes, and tremendous competition. But what we have to do, no matter what happens in our market, is we've got to accept it. And if we accept it, we can move to the next phase. Once we accept it, we will begin to, repeat this after me, please, adapt.
Adapt.
How many of you have adapted to the market that you're in that's changed? That's shifted? Are you adapting? I'll get there. I'll get back there. Once we adapt, and we're creatures, human beings, we adapt. It's just what we do. When it's cold, we put on a jacket. If it's hot, we put shorts on. We just adapt. It's just what we do. It's just in our nature. Once we adapt to it, then we move to the 3rd phase. Repeat this after me, please. Embrace. Embrace. You look back and say, you know what? What I thought was going to be so difficult wasn't that bad. Once we embrace it, then we can move to the 4th phase. Repeat this after me, please. Growth. We can grow from it personally, professionally, in some areas, spiritually. We can grow from the change that is taking place. Once we grow from it, and then we can get to the 5th phase. Repeat this after me, please. Benefit. And then we can benefit from it. We can benefit. The people around us can benefit from it. So it's accepting it over here, adapting to it, embracing it, so that we can grow from it. And once we grow from it, that's when we begin to benefit from it. Now, there were some artists in the music industry that looked at this, the perspective that they took were those 5 phases. They accepted the fact that the market was changed, that the day of selling 1 million copies in 24 hours, once they released an album, 24 hours they sell 1 million copies. They knew that that wasn't going to happen anymore. So they began to adapt to the change. How did they adapt? Some artists said, you know what? Well, I used to sell 1 million copies. That's not going to happen. So if there was 1 million people, they started thinking, sometimes we got to get creative in a market that's shifting. They started thinking, okay, I'm not going to sell 1 million copies, but what if I sell 500,000 copies? And what if I turn myself, my name, into a business? What if I create a business? I put together a logo. I put my logo on a t-shirt. I go to Macy's and I say, hey, I sold 1 million albums. 1 million copies of my album before. So I have a following. And I have this t-shirt now. I'm an artist. I have a t-shirt with my logo on it. I guarantee you I can bring in traffic to Macy's to buy my product, which will create a win-win for you and me. So like a Mariah Carey, like a Carlos Santana. How many know Carlos Santana has a woman's shoe? He doesn't wear women's shoes. But I think. But he got smart, right? He said, if women buy my albums, they like my music, so I'm going to create another way for them to continue to buy from me. They bought my music. He's not buying my music. They're downloading my music, but now they can go buy my shoe. So the artists, the smart artists, when they were adapting to the change, they created more merchandise for their customers to purchase. They started to get creative. Repeat this after me, please. I must be creative. And then they accepted it, they adapt to it, and then how many know that the people that adapted to it started to embrace it? Because now you can find, Mariah Carey has a perfume. She didn't come into the music industry to have us smelling like her. But she got smart, right? I bet you she embraced it. The hip-hop artists like a Jay-Z or a P. Diddy, whether you like them or not, they got smart. And they created empires during a market that was shifting, and most of the money that they're making wasn't even from their music. It was from the other things that they created so that they could continue to serve their customers. They've embraced it, now they've grown from it, and them and generations to come have benefited from their perspective on change.